Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail heroic. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember the shifty waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. False word. Important news are new pieces.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework thing. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall word, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Friday, September 23rd, 2022, the day after hashtag Talk Like Captain Kirk Day, a very special day, the first ever hashtag Talk Like Captain Kirk Day that I myself spearheaded, getting it out there to the internet, to the Twitterverse. I tagged William Shatner himself twice, not blocked yet that I know of, so I assume it has his passive blessing. Welcome everybody in chat. Let me see, did I lose any chats? No, I did not. Richie Poole was first in the chat today. Says Qapla, spoken like Captain Kirk. Qapla. Richie Poole says, open a channel, Lieutenant. This is Captain James T. Onevok of the Federation Starship Enterprise. That is Richie Poole's long-winded way of saying he was first in the chat. Wesley Crusher, Qapla West, says, greetings, Karogans, dirty turds, and nerds, and Qapla, and uses the custom poker emoji. Sisso Prey, bird's head in a jar. Tribble, nephew of Prey. Sassy, Mamo Prey, Karogan flag. General Chang, bird of prey, and number 5 emoji. Welcome, Wesley. To which Richie Poole responds in the only way you can to Wesley Crusher, saying, shut up, Wesley. And Richie Poole says, you know what happens when you feed a tribble too much? More dribbles. Thomas Potts is bird of prey. So you forgot you made yesterday Talk Like Captain Kirk Day. No, I know yesterday was Talk Like Captain Kirk Day, but I couldn't do Bed Life on Thursday, Thomas. So today a day late. We're honoring the day. I have a captain's log that I will share with you all in the voice and manner in which Captain Kirk, aka William Shatner, would have delivered this log. It's a custom adventure to which we don't get to see the actual adventure as it happens, but which we can use through the power of our own imagination. We can imagine what it would have been like based on the captain's log that explains the situation. So it should be enough. Get your thinking caps on. Captain Fandom Nerds says greetings. Greetings, Captain. John Meyer says, Bones, I need your help. My gonads have turned lavender purple and they itch. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, hey, everyone lurking. Richie Fools says, Bird of Prey is trying to confuse us into thinking it's Thursday. It's not Thursday. It's Friday. That's why I said yesterday in parentheses in the title of today's video. And John Araki says, was Birds Thursday so late it merged into Friday? Hashtag salty law bird of prey sandwich. Oh God. Captain Phantom Nerd says hello to Thomas. Richie Poole says, next thing you know, Bird of Prey 5 is going to insist that there are 5 lights when there are only 4. Today is Friday, damn it, not Thursday. I'm not asking anyone to believe today is Thursday. I'm not Thomas Potts. Richie Poole says, well, maybe it is Thursday after all. Talk like Captain Kirk Day. Every day can be Talk Like Captain Kirk Day, as far as I'm concerned. John DeMarco says, greetings, everyone. Greetings, John. Wesley Crusher says, Bird of Prey, is it Dear Bop time yet? And again uses all the custom emojis in the same order as he did before. And he says, I need to get my money's worth out of these emoji. You certainly do, Wes. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, why so late? We actually started on time today. And Gorilla uses a bunch of custom bird of prey emojis. And Wesley says, so many. And he's using the nephew of prey, the sis of prey, the mom of prey emojis. And Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Bird of Prey 5 in chat. Qapla, Mike Richards. Wesley is still going on with the custom emojis. And Thomas Potts is using the built-in card symbol emojis, hearts, diamonds, spades, and 3 humps hearts. Clubs. Wesley says, it's Geloja time. Bird is late. I actually was Gelojering as I read that the first time. Yvette says, good evening, Bird, and everyone. Good evening, Yvette. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is using the custom emojis now. Gorilla says, hey to Yvette. Mr. Londell says, Qapla. Mr. Londell. Mike Richards says, Kirkpla. I have improved the Klingon dictionary by inserting my own name into their most beloved word. It's now Kirkpla. I could see it happening. Gorilla says I'm late. Mike Richards says, Bird is truly an innovator. Thank you. Somebody who sees genius for what it is. Dan Ben says hello. Qapla, Dan Ben, or Kirkpla, whichever you prefer. Sith Alis says Qapla. Friendos, Qapla. Sith Alis, our good friend from down under. Tim Christ says, Bird of Prey, getting blocked by Shatner isn't something to be embarrassed by. It's like a PlayStation achievement. You go for the 100% platinum tier. I should have know I got the gold level block from Shatner. You got the block from Shatner. That's terrible news, Tim. Robert Rose Jr. says, hello today, Berto Prey, Mamo Prey, and the Sassy. Thank you, Robert. Syphilis says, it's Saturday here anyway. That's true. So it's definitely even less Thursday in Australia. Dan Ben says, if I didn't watch a review on Lower Decks at the time, it's because it's shown differently in England to America. I didn't want to spoil the episode. Dan Ben, it's no worries. Plus, I didn't do a review of this latest Lower Decks because, like so many episodes this season on Lower Decks, I just found it boring. It wasn't particularly painful. It wasn't insulting to the franchise. It didn't get me anger with the, anger of a billion burning suns. It was just meh. It was a boring episode. There were very few laughs. There were a couple of member berries, but they weren't written in any particularly strong order. There was very little to talk about. And to be honest, even though it was only a 22-minute episode, I found myself bored and wondering when this would be over so I could get back to a poker game where I don't play for money, but for coins that mean nothing in the scheme of life. They mean nothing in the scheme of life, and yet I still found playing for them would have been more fun than watching this TV show. And that's why I didn't do a review, because it would have been a waste of my time, a waste of your time, and a waste of the whale's times. So it's better for me. It's better for you. It's better for them. We don't do a review. Now, if they come back with an episode that is really funny and worth watching, like episode 1 of season 3, or an episode that attacks canon and needs to be avoided at all costs, something like, I don't know, every episode of Star Trek Discovery, Picard, or Strange New Worlds, then that also would put it in line for getting a review, a negative review, but a review nonetheless. Unfortunately, what we've got is neither love nor hate, neither great nor infamously poor. It is the boring zone. Okay? I mean, the one place you don't want to be, if you are trying to get someone to notice you, if you're trying to get someone to fall in love with you, okay, it's okay to be hated, because at least they know who you are. At least they have that strong emotional reaction to your being. Okay? I would much rather start off with a woman who hates my guts, because it's easier to turn that hate into love than it is to turn a woman who doesn't even know I exist, to get her attention and then to make her love you. That is a much, much harder route to take, a steeper staircase to climb than simply reversing her opinion of you. Okay? If somebody already has a strong opinion of you, you can use that to your advantage much better than someone who doesn't know you exist. And Lower Decks is starting to be that person I don't even know exists, because they're not getting any type of emotional reaction. Now, I'm not saying Discovery is better because they get a negative emotional reaction, but I dare say should Discovery improve, I would have more, I'd have more credit for Discovery. I would sing the praises of Discovery louder, knowing that they've come from a place where I despise every episode that it's written, to that each character is worse than the character before. If they could somehow turn Discovery around and make a quality show, I would sing its praises far louder than Lower Decks, which can do good shows. They just seem too bored or too lazy to do so. Um, um, anyway, so yeah, don't worry about not watching the review. Number 1 says it's a fake. Talk Like Captain Kirk Day does not exist. It does exist. It's real. I created it. It's real. I created it. You get it? Robert Rose Jr. says, Birdo Prey 5, though does Kirk get any time off during this Talk Like Kirk Day? Of course he does. William Shatner, he gets the whole day off. He doesn't have to talk at all if he doesn't want. Everybody's talking for him. Dan Venn says, the thing I laughed about most was the Independent Archaeology Guild. And she said the indie archaeologist, Indiana Jones reference, maybe. Number 1 says, Birdo Prey 5 is addicted to poker. What a tragedy. It's not just the poker I am addicted to, it's the whole casino mindset. It's not just poker, it's blackjack, slot machines, any type of gambling. Dan Ben says, episode 8, I believe, is a 2-part to season 1 episode, which was the holodeck movie. Well, we'll see. Tiger Stripe says, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if I agree with that, but I will tell you, you're right in that indifference is far worse to overcome than hatred. That's what I was trying to say. Potato Revin says, hey all, I'm live in 3 hours. Come and say hey. We're talking about Harry Potter. Jesus Christ, Potato. Harry Potter. I hope you have a great stream. I could not give 2 poops less about Harry Potter. It was an okay movie. When I was sick and in the hospital, Sis O'Prey was reading me the Harry Potter novels. And at the time, I greatly enjoyed it because I just was happy to have someone read something to me, and I could kind of remember what she was saying. But truth be told, now that I'm awake, I look at Harry Potter, I don't feel love, I don't feel hate, I just feel terrible indifference. So A pop culture curator is in the house. Qapla, pop culture curator. Potato Revens of season 3 was a golden opportunity for a 360-degree turnaround into a soft reboot. I assume he meant of Discovery, but it didn't happen. Gorilla says, if anyone cares, no Babylon 5 tomorrow. Sorry about that, Gorilla, but thank you for letting us know. Robert Rose Jr. says, no Bird of Prey. Kirk does not get any time or mention on Kirk Day. I mean, Kirk was, but wasn't Kirk. I added William Shatner. Talk Like Captain Kirk Day. Tim Chris is Bird of Prey. You know, if you like to gamble, there is Genshin Impact, the game I play. Nothing beats dumping a bunch of money into a dismal random chance at a lovely anime lolly. I don't even know what half those words mean, but thank you, I guess. I'm not particularly interested in any other gambling games at the moment. Okay. So, Talk Like Captain Kirk Day was yesterday. So let me go ahead and present this short story that takes the form of a captain's log. And this is my way of honoring hashtag Talk Like Captain Kirk Day. And I hope you guys enjoy it. It's called the Mirror Universe. Captain's log, stardate unknown. It's happened again. Myself, Uhura, Scotty, and Dr. McCoy were beaming back to the Enterprise during an ion storm. We knew this wasn't recommended procedure, but it could not be helped. The shuttle bay door was welded shut, an apparent prank from a Horta we were delivering to Proxima 5. And I needed to be back in my quarters quickly, as I refused to use toilets on planets that still use toilet paper. We are men, after all, not animals. Anyway, we rematerialized on the Enterprise, but it wasn't my Enterprise. The ship was the same. The people all looked familiar, but the similarities ended there. It wasn't the mirror universe, but more of a mirror universe. It's like everything was the same as the mirror universe, but opposite. For example, in the mirror universe, discipline was brutal. As captain, I dispensed punishment with a device known as an antagonizer. Its purpose, deliver pure pain. But in the mirror universe, my crew expected rewards for doing their jobs well. As captain, it was my job to dispense pleasure with a device they called an orgasmizer. In the mirror universe, I met Marlena. She was known as the captain's woman. In the mirror universe, all the women were the captain's women. And so were some of the men. To that end, computer, set a reminder. Never turn my back on Captain Sulu again. Oh my, indeed. Captain Sulu, I meant Mr. Sulu. Mr. Sulu. In sickbay, Bones found his mirror self was ready to test an ecstasy booth. Ecstasy booth. 12 men died trying to be the first to volunteer, but I bested them all. Of course, we took a copy of the plans. We made it off the ship with only seconds to spare before Mr. Sulu was going to orgasmatize us. The man is clearly after my job in all universes. Upon return to my enterprise, I found our mirror duplicates were easily detected before any real damage could be done. They were huddled, crying, in a turbo lift when they realized their ecstasy booth did not exist, and Janice Rand turned down their advances, as in this universe she was having a visit from her Aunt Flo. We obviously beamed them all back to where they belong. Or perhaps we beamed them to a Klingon engine room. I'm not really sure. Scotty was pretty drunk when using the transporter controls, and I'm working on having this ecstasy booth installed in my quarters. Captain Kirk, out. End log. Go. There you go. That's in honor of Talk Like Captain Kirk Day. Dan Ben, I agree with you on Harry Potter. I had to read the first book at school, the first two movies at home, and didn't care for it. I can't imagine school making people read Harry Potter books. Potato Revan says, lol, imagine Shatner in the bathroom doing the Kirk voice. This crap is not letting go. It's looks to the roof and says in Kirk's voice, it's a Klingon. It's not letting go. It's a Klingon. Number one says, isn't that what Kirk calls a number two? The captain's log. Very possible, number one. Gorilla says, Captain Phantom Nerd, I'll try to do a movie Sunday. Tim Chris says, that's an agonizer. Lol, an agonizer. Okay. So we have an agonizer in the mirror universe and an orgasmizer in the mirror universe. Yvette says, I want to visit the mirror universe. A lot of people do, Yvette. Tim Chris says, bend over, Jim. I need to test this new prosthetic. Gorilla says, oh, Bird made Kirk bisexual. Everyone better start bitching and moaning. I didn't make him bisexual. I just said, oh my. Captain Phantom Nerd says, Bird of Prey 5, that log was pure agony. Captain, I don't understand. Are you saying you didn't like it? Potato Revan says, hey to Gorilla. And Mike Richards says, wow, Bird. Just wow. Syphilis says, lol, the log was great. Thank you. Thank you, Syphilis. I appreciate it. Speaking of bisexual, today is indeed Celebrate Bisexuality Day. And so we're going to do that right now with this clip from a Deep Space Nine episode you might be familiar with. It's called Rejoined. It's an episode where Dax falls in love with a previous host who they both happen to be female, even though they were male and female at the time they initially met. But now their flames, their love is blossoming. It's regrowing as a love that dare not speak its name, as they are both women, but they are both more than women, as they also used to be men who used to be women, who used to be men. The passion over the next 30 seconds is pure, it's beautiful, it's love. And as a young teenager, it moved me. It spoke to me. It provided me with many, many happy nights. The VHS tape for this episode often broke in my VCR. So that was a celebration of National Celebrate Bisexuality Day. It's also American Indian Day, so we'll give a shout out to Commander Chakotay, the only American Indian that I can think of in Star Trek. It's also AFL Grand Final Friday, whatever the hell that is. It looks like soccer. Fuck if I care. It's Education Technology Day. Great day to think about technology in education. When I was a kid, we were lucky to have one computer in a classroom. And then we have whole classrooms with computers, but only for short periods of the day. And let's face it, we would all go in and play Oregon Trail, and most of us would die of dysentery on the way. It's the first day of autumn, which it certainly was a cool morning this morning. It's still cool. Mama probably is going to be in a bad mood till next June, she says. But it's also a Hug a Vegetarian Day. Now, I caution you, despite it being Hug a Vegetarian Day, might I suggest you get positive consent before you hug just any vegetarian. I suspect many probably are not too keen on having strangers hug them, especially women vegetarians. The guy vegetarians, they're probably a little more open-minded, if you know what I mean. International Day of Sign Languages Day. I don't know what that means, but let's assume it means Happy Sign Language Day. National Apple Cider Vinegar Day is just disgusting. I'm not even going to go any further. National Baker Day. Now that I could go if we had a nice, good bakery making some beautiful, tasteful breads toasted with butter. Oh, that just sounds so good. It's National Brave Day, which I thought was another play on the Indian thing, but it's actually Who runs the world? Women do. That's what it says. Who runs the world? Women do. So I guess we can blame women for all the problems in the world since women run the world. I didn't say it. Nationaltoday.com says it. And if you can't trust nationaltoday.com, what's the point? It's National Checkers Day. No, not the game checkers. Apparently, we celebrate the memories of political pets. I guess checkers was one of the first presidential animals. National Dogs in Politics Day. Very confusing. The first dog of the United States holds an important place in our hearts. What? National Field Marketers Day. What in the fuck? Time to prepare your very best sales pitch on this National Field Marketers Day. My God. National Go With Your Gut Day. These are all today, mind you. It's time for a health check with National Go With Your Gut Day. That's clearly what Salty needed. It's a week late, but better late than never. It's also National Great American Pot Pie Day. Get your bellies ready and your hearts merry for this savory celebration. Mama, pray.
Yeah.
What exactly is a pot pie? I don't think I have. I see peas in a pie. Tiny camera. I can turn the camera off.
Anyway, instead.
Okay. Saved by the Bell. I don't understand what a pot pie is. It's like a stew in a pie. Anyway, it's also National Snack Stick Day. Get yourself some snack sticks as we celebrate traditional family snack that looks like beef jerky of some sort. Sassy, I did not sell your jerky this year because I know Sassy does not forgive or forget. National Temperature Control Day. Surprise! Summer does not begin on Memorial Day, nor does it end on Labor Day. What the fuck does that even mean? It's neither Memorial Day nor Labor Day right now. Native American Day. God damn it. I already know. We've had 3 days already today that are Indian or Native American. Fourth Call Elvis Festival. What? That's not a day. You're just advertising an Elvis festival. This website has really gone downhill. Holy shit. It's Redhead Appreciation Day. Redhead Appreciation Day. Redheads are like rare birds of paradise, making up just 4% of the world's population. Guys, girls, find a redhead and tell them how much you appreciate them today. It's also Restless Leg. Oh my God, is this the longest we've ever gone? How many days has it been? It's Restless Leg Awareness Situation. Restless Leg Awareness Day. Get excited as we dish out some hardcore educational tips and facts about a lifelong neurological condition that didn't exist until about 2 years ago when they came out with a medication that seemingly just dulls leg movements for people who move their legs too much. And it doesn't end. Seed gathering season. That's not even a day. It's just a day they start gathering seeds. What the fuck? September equinox. Okay, that's a day. Did you know the sky is both a clock and a calendar? Find out why. No, I know. It's also how many days could there possibly be? Day. It's teal talk day. Gather your friends, wear teal for a day out, and talk about ovarian cancer. Really, let's take my friends out and talk about ovarian cancer, because that needs to be a fucking day. Yes, Mom.
Excuse me, your sister wants to know,
Sis O'Prey wants to know.
did you receive Better Call Saul? Did you get it on AMC Classics?
I don't believe it's on AMC Classics.
Here, talk to her.
Hello. I bought the final season on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it might be on Netflix now, but I didn't want to wait. You have to pay Netflix to watch the final season? What the fuck? Netflix doesn't have it for free? Since when is Netflix charging extra? I'm surprised. Don't you have access to my Amazon Prime? Mommy did tell you I am streaming, right? I'm not aware of a cartoon version. I will ask. Did you know it's Teal Talk Day? Oh, YouTube was telling you to buy it. That makes sense. I didn't even think Netflix has the ability to ask you to buy it. No, Netflix doesn't charge for shows. Okay, no. Everybody's saying Netflix does not have pay-per-view. It was YouTube, guys. It was YouTube. Typo of the mouth. Mhm. It's also Zatar Day. Everyone gather at the dining table because today is Zatar Day. I thought Zatar was a country. I guess that's Qatar. It's apparently a food. It doesn't look delicious. It looks like bird seed. Do you know today is National Brave Day? I don't give a shit about Mercury being in retrograde. Mercury retrograde is real. It's the only real astrological thing. That's what Sis O'Prey said. Do you even give a shit? It's National Brave Day. Brave Day. Do you know what it is? National Brave Day is the celebration of the last Friday of every September. And this year, the day will be observed September 23rd. Every woman knows that sometimes all that she needs is a small nudge of encouragement in the form of timely guidance from another woman. Yet other times call for coordinated, thoughtful efforts for women in need. The world moves forward when women empower other women. National Brave Day honors women who lift each other up, rescue each other, fight for each other's cause, and make each other brave. It's the day to celebrate the wise and strong women in your life. BRAVE. I said brave. Braid. That's feminist. That's sexist. You braid women, you braid long hair. I get it. I was clearly saying brave with a V, like Victor. Would you have known what brave was if you had heard me say it the first time? Why is day a brave for a day for women? Everyone should be brave. What do you hate women? Because it tells me that who runs the world? Women do. So I feel like I can blame women for all the trouble in the world based on that statement. Uh, Jedi Bill says, Qapla, brother warrior, bird of Ray, hail Karoga. I am just getting back to Tucson, Arizona. Glad you got home to Tucson, Bill. Yeah, she's ready for you, Mom. Wesley says, sometimes Bird is hilarious. Here's Mom. It's on Prime. I have it on my Prime Video. You should have access. Huh? Oh, well, did you check Netflix? Okay, well, I gotta go. AXRP Rock Solid says, with a $1.49 donation, thank you, Rock Solid, says, not to sideline Dear Bops. And again, you're probably not to it yet, but prayers are needed. Please share the latest post for my community tab. This week and today, effers suck. Oh my God, Rock Solid. Okay. Let's see what's going on with Rock Solid. YouTube, Rock Solid Productions. And we will get to Dear Bops very shortly. 29 minutes ago, I want to thank everyone who has reached out to me since the posting of my friend Chris's stroke earlier in the week. You have been a major source of strength and more help than I can admit. I've heard from his sister, and Chris passed earlier this afternoon with his mom, sisters, uncle, and their loved ones by his side. I am glad that he had that by his bedside as he passed. This past week,
I've been monitoring your communications with Starfleet Command, Captain.
This past week, I have reconnected with some of the people that used to hang out together, which has been great. I will admit I had to shut my office door and punch a few things when I heard the news. It's weird for me to think I am the only one out of my brothers still younger than my mom when she died. at 49. Chris was only 45. One thing has given me peace, though. All this is I look forward to the possibility that, for really the first time, Chris will be able to be with his dad. Having lost both my parents now, that brings me some solace. Hug your loved ones a little tighter tonight. Go get your regular checkups. We don't know if what happened to Chris was preventable, but if it could have been, what if, right? Godspeed, Chris. I love you, and I will always cherish your memory, your friendship, and your nerd cred. And there is, I assume, his friend Chris, holding a kangaroo. A roo, probably from a zoo, possibly in Australia. I don't know for sure. Earlier, I guess it was. Over the years, I've talked about my childhood friend Chris and the games we'd play. He'd always kick my ass in Street Fighter 2 using Guile, I forget how to pronounce the name, and that annoying upward kick, always. Chris is as close to real-life Sheldon Cooper as I've ever known. Not as socially awkward, but naive in certain ways. He went to school for a position where he could really work for two organizations, NASA and the Pentagon. Yeah, he's one of those nerds. He spent nearly a decade working on the satellite array in Australia and has since returned to the States and was working near San Francisco. I just referenced Chris in my other video last week on the Orion grip, talking about how we used to play Turtles in Time together, and that I don't remember if we'd ever beat it. His birthday is the first few days of the year, so I remember going to see Dumb and Dumber on his 18th in theaters. There are lots of memories I have of him like that. Well, last night I was shocked to read this from his sister. On September 19th, my brother Chris was rushed to the ER in San Francisco after collapsing at his work. It was discovered that his brain was bleeding severely, swollen, and that he had suffered a stroke. Because of his high blood pressure, the amount of blood that got into his brain was high and caused immediate damage. While bleeding has stopped, he is non-responsive and on life support. I'm really crushed by this news. We hadn't talked in years, but he was constantly in my thoughts, especially when doing anything 16-bit gaming related, since he was so closely tied to those days for me. All I know is what he posted up above, but taking things at face value, it sounds like he's at the very least suffered extreme brain damage, and at worst, he's brain dead. If you believe in the power of prayer, please take a moment to pray for his family. It really sounds like he's going to need a miracle at this point. And there he was with a koala. I am so sorry, Rock Solid, and prayers to the family of Chris. And Chris, if you're somewhere where you can hear this, prayers to you too.
Who's been holding up the damn elevator?
And Wesley, thank you, Wesley, with a $2 donation. Says, Bird, here's to a happy and healthy week. Qapla, Wes. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I wanted to read the rest of that before I went on to the super chats. And then Rock Solid donated another $1.49 and says, I have an event tomorrow, but if I may request a cinema Saturday for next weekend and watch Dumb and Dumber. Tomorrow, Saturday, next Saturday. Of course. I'm not going to say no, Rock Solid. I'm not going to say no for something like this. Just do me a favor. If you're not going to be able to make it next Saturday, let me know as soon as possible so I can put it off or something. But for now, assuming I'm okay, Saturday, let's see, Saturday, October 1st, we will do a Dumb and Dumber Cinema Saturday. And if you find someone else who can do it sooner or whatever and you want to, that's fine too. But for now, we'll pencil it in. Dumb and Dumber Saturday, October 1st, in honor of Rock Solid and his friend Chris. Anyway, I'm very sorry to hear this. Let's see. Let me check the chats. Dan Ben says, I finished education when I left college in 2007. Stan Lee says he's about to break into a Blur song. Mike Richards is being bisexual doubles your chances of getting a date on Saturday night. Yeah, I had a friend who used to say it doubled his chances of getting laid. I don't know if I agree with the math, but technically true, I guess. Dan Ben says, I saw an episode of Scooby-Doo once where the bad guy had an aggravator, a handheld thing, the red in the middle. An antagonizer or an aggravator. Dan Ben says song 2. Stanley says it's wrong, but it's so right. Yvette says bird moved you in a certain area. Stan Lee says I had a forehead unit for clearer pausing. I did not have a forehead VCR. Not when I was like 13 or 14. I had just a 2-head. Stanley says with 2 heads, the pause would be all streaky. Stanley says forehead, you get a nice clean pause of critical scenes. Dan Ben says the first bisexual character in Star Wars was in the 2003 video game KOTOR. She was a cat alien. Gorilla says, where's my 1/8 shout out for Native American Day? Well, a shout out to Gorilla and his 1/8 version of himself. Stanley says, but not too hard because bones are literally quite brittle. Dan Ben says, it's autumn in America. America is what Americans call fall. We call, yes, fall and autumn are synonymous. And thank you, Indie Tiger, Qapla Indie Tiger, with a super chat. Indie Tiger says, always remember a rhino is just a double stuffed unicorn. Thank you, Indie Tiger, with that wisdom, imparting that wisdom. Dan Ben doesn't know of any political pets. And he says, England TVs, I've noticed they put more programs on with sign language. We used to have sign language in the corner of most political speeches. And then, I don't know, like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, there was a whole bunch of controversy when it turned out several of the people doing sign language didn't have a clue. They were just lied. They just lied, said they knew sign language, and was just making it up as they went along. And this would go out, and it would be days before people realized that they were scammed, that the people thought they were doing sign language, and it was absolute just bullshit. They were just pretending they knew sign language. West, Mama Bray says Charlie's learning sign language. Wesley says sometimes Bird is hilarious. Thank you. No, pot pie is not drugs. That's true. There's no marijuana in pot pie. Dan Ben says stick food in England. You can eat a cheese string or pepperoni unless it means on a toothpick. And Dan Ben says Star Trek has the weather control net and they control weather. That is true. Stan Lee says, are new things on classics? Yeah, I don't know why it would have been on classics. Dan Ben says, Teal Pick isn't in the shape of the cancer logo. Stan Lee says, Netflix doesn't charge for rent shows. Yeah, no, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Yes, Mama Fred.
Oh, just measuring.
No. Measuring?
Yeah, so Charlie can get closer to you.
Mama Fred is measuring a step stool so Charlie can climb up onto the bed.
It's actually for the toilet.
Oh, it's actually for the toilet. And see, is he using the toilet these days? Soon, huh? Chief Cook is in the house. Qapla, Chief. John DeMarco says stunning day must be next month. Chief Cook says OMG. Deej Odyssey says Rue from a zoo. Bird was a poet and didn't even know it. Hello, Deej. And yes, I did watch Deej's stream from last night. It was weird. It was that Deej was streaming. I was probably awake, but I was rewatching Cinnabon's stream. When I woke up, I put it on to fall back asleep. I hadn't even realized that Deej was streaming live. Otherwise, I would have been there live. Deej says, so Bill Bird was up while I was streaming. Yep. But he preferred to watch others stream. I didn't prefer. I didn't even think to look. I fell asleep with Cinnabon's stream on. So when I woke up in the middle of the night, I just rewound Cinnabon's stream to like the halfway point when I fell asleep and started listening again. It wasn't until later in the morning when I saw that you had streamed at about the time I was awake that I probably, had I checked, I would have been awake. I could have listened to your stream live and then watched the rest of Cinnabon's stream later in the morning since it was already over. Robert Rose Jr. says, hello today, rock solid. Sorry for your loss. And thank you for the Wordle Prey subscription gift. Yes, thank you for thanking him. Deej says, yes, he was awake last night. Yep, I was. And rock solid says he'll let me know by Wednesday. Awesome. Wazzy says, did Bird skip my super chat? No, I did. I got to it. Cinnabon Bunny says hello. Cinnabon now has a massive lead in the chip count. Not so much that he won a lot, but I lost. I lost a lot today. Many millions lost. Deej says he may reread it. He's finally catching up. I can reread the Cinnabon, Wesley's chat says, Bird, here's to a happy and healthy week. Qapla, Wes. And Rock Solid again donates and says, you need to take care of yourself because I'll be goddamned if I'm going to go through this shit again anytime soon. Son of a bitch. I hear ya. Well, if it means anything, my blood pressure, I check it 2 to 3 times a day, and knock wood, it's pretty well controlled.
And may I add, all your doctors are happy.
And Mama Pray says, and all my doctors are happy. Ideed says, so we can finally have Charlie Smackbird instead of just Sissel Pray. No, and we're not teaching Charlie to use the Geloder machine.
No, we're teaching them how to use the toilet.
Deed says, so Bird used Cinnabon stream to fall back asleep. Cinnabon says, will you sleep or will I put you to sleep? To be honest, I could fall asleep to anybody's stream. Yours, Deej's, Salty's,
Your own.
my own, Doomcock. Which, by the way, I also listened to the Doomcock members only stream, and I was shocked to see Deej Odyssey there. Deej had somehow been purchased. He randomly received a membership to Doomcock. Doomcock had 120 plus memberships purchased for him, I think over the course of a week last week. So a whole bunch of people got Doomcock memberships, and Deej was one of them. Cinnabon says, lol. Wesley says Bird should just his own stream to fall asleep to. I've done that, Wes. LDG is waving. Chief Cook says, oh my God. And Deej says he was gifted. I know you were gifted. I said, Doomcock, he had 120, and he said 129 gifted memberships last week. Good for him. Good for him. But anyway, let's move on to Dear Bop, because it's getting to that time. Dear Bops. Dear Bop, rate this Star Trek quote out of 10. I found it wise to never underestimate the Federation's technical skill. Ducat. I guess that's like a 4 out of 10. I prefer the Vorta, who said, you must have one of those famed Starfleet engineers who can turn rocks into replicators. It's good for me to believe, I'm happy to believe that, other races might be known for their weapons or their brutality, but that Starfleet was known for their engineering prowess. I like that. Deed says, and I was the first one he said was there too. Yeah, that was it. You were the first one there. That was the first one to be mentioned. So that was a surprise. Dear DS9. Close up on the cauliflower ears in TOS Way to Eden, and Tiberian male to lore DS9 the shit. Well, I'll be honest, while they look similar, they clearly are not the same species. The Tiberian has ridges or spikes kind of going up the front of his forehead, and this guy's got fucking glitter paint on his head. Similar, but clearly not the same. Dear Bob, what kind of GPU you have And do you plan to buy any of the new 4K series coming up? Well, since I've got a laptop, I am not planning on buying any new GPUs because I don't think I can replace the GPU on my laptop. That said, I believe I have a GTX 3080 or 1080.
Oh, I gotta go get that.
Let's see, version, system information. X64. Does it say system name, BIOS, Symbios, baseboard platform, boot device? It doesn't mention hardware resources. EMA, forced hardware. It doesn't say. I don't know. It's a pretty good NVIDIA card. Like whatever their top card was 5 years ago, that's what I've got. Dear Bob, this made me laugh out loud. A Reddit link. New Line Cinema allowed the rights to develop Iron Man film to lapse back to Marvel Studios in 2005, as the studio's chief claimed that the character didn't make sense because Iron Man was too heavy to fly. Iron Man movie rights reverted back to Marvel for the funniest reason. Okay, I mean, do I believe this to be true? Not particularly. Am I going to read up on it? No, I just don't care. I just don't care. If it's true, it's kind of funny, but it's also just, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, obviously, Superman's too heavy to fly also. So I don't. I honestly don't believe it to be true is the thing. Spam. Dear Bop and all that jazz. Stop in the name of love. Okay. I'll be honest. I rate those a meh. Not particularly all that interesting. Dear Bob, DS9, say it like the character when you read it. This we do not forgive or forget. And sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Deep Space Nine. Gowron. We do not forgive or forget. Sassy does not forgive or forget. Their link to Captain Picard and some emojis above his head. KFC Star Trek commercial. I can't. Reverse thrusters. We need more power. You can't hold it together, Captain. It's a minute-long commercial. They're losing the Colonel's signal. Oh, that's not even the real actors. I hadn't noticed. Oh my God, is that a deep fake? That can't be, that almost looked like Shatner. The sounds, okay, that's clearly not Shatner. Three pieces. Wow, they just made it. I'm kind of hungry now. Unfortunately, I've already had my salt intake for the day. Crisis was averted. They had KFC. The chicken was excellent. I gotta say, they got the voices spot on. The voices were spot on in this commercial. Maybe not the looks of the people, but the voices. Dan Benson, I thought the TOS guy had that illness that makes the ear like that. Very possible. Is that better than the Kelvin timeline? You damn Skippy, it's better than the Kelvin timeline. And a hell of a lot better than Discovery. Dear Bob, KFC will now be known as the Klingon Fight Club. I don't know about that. Dear Bob, Enterprise. Porthos, Aru! Oh. The Enterprise Wednesdays are coming soon, people. Dear Bob, from watching the What We Left Behind documentary, would you say that Mark Alamo genuinely believes Ducat was a hero? No, I don't think he does. But I do think he genuinely was interested in Nana and a relationship with her. More spam. Dear Bob, I'm not turning off my ad blocker.
This isn't what you wanted. You wanted the portable disc thing.
Yeah, no, that's something else.
Not in the box.
Yeah, I think it's up there somewhere, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Sia makes rare public appearance. I have no idea what this is. Obviously, this is somebody famous, but I've never heard of her. I don't know who she is, and I don't care to know who she is. John DeMarco says, I think Mark Alamo genuinely thinks Mark Alamo is a hero. That's a different question. Robert Rose Jr. says, though, how'd they pay for the KFC orders since they don't use money in the Star Trek universe? Well, I think they don't use paper money. I think they do have what we would consider bank accounts. So if they had a credit card or perhaps something like that, some way of paying. Rock Solid says, with a $1.49 donation, no effers, salt for you. What part of that do you don't understand? Fucking Kurogans. Rock Solid, it's not that I'm on a no salt diet. I'm on a low salt diet. If you go on a no salt diet, you die. The body requires salt. So as I said, I've already passed my salt intake for the day, so I would not be getting KFC. That's how it works. I was given the correct answer to the question. Dear Bob, I was posting this question when my internet turned off and it turned back on, so I don't remember if I pressed send. Sorry. if I sent it twice. Is Neelix a cat alien? It's mentioned he had whiskers in one episode. Okay, well, you didn't send it twice, so that's good. No, Neelix is not a cat alien. He has no real feline characteristics. He's never described as feline in any way. And lots of animals have whiskers, including dogs, which are pretty much the opposite of cat. So whiskers does not make a cat. Dear Bop, TNG, and SG1. Okay. So they use the same piece of furniture. Yeah, nothing I would have ever have noticed. Tim Chris is Bird of Prey. If money doesn't exist in Star Trek, how was McCoy trying to charter a space flight in Star Trek 3? Again, yeah, exactly. We have plenty of examples where money exists. Credits in the episode with the gangsters, the gangster planet, there was talk about a planetary or Federation bank or something that they were going to, money was going to be deposited for that planet going forward. And in Encounter at Farpoint, there were credits being used for Beverly Crusher was charging stuff to the ship. So it's very clear that they definitely have some type of money. McCoy was chartering a ship. Hell, even in Star Trek Picard was so-called buying a ship or paying Rios, at least initially, for use of his ship. Dear Bob, the similarities between Simpsons and SpongeBob. I couldn't give two shits about SpongeBob, the Krusty Krab. Okay, well, yeah, there's clearly some. Very possible that people, maybe the same people worked on the animation, or one was just fans of the other. But I tell you, with so many Simpsons fans, so many Simpsons episodes, there's bound to be similarities. And Rock Solid with a $20 super chat. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Rock Solid. Rock Solid said, stay off the salt. I'm not doing this again. Do you understand me? Rock Solid, I promise you, I am much, how would I say this? I am serious about my salt intake. Mamo Prey gets nervous at times. I'm not eating enough salt. Okay? So believe me, I hear what you're saying. And if you saw me day to day, I continue to lose weight. In fact, I might be losing too much weight. Yesterday I was 207 point something pounds. Today I gained a few more. I got back up a little bit, but 207.5 was yesterday. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. Dear Bob, you always say you're straight, but would you have sex with a man if it meant all your medical problems went away? Probably not, I'll be honest. No. I certainly wouldn't take it up the ass. I just assume die. So no. Now, it's so disgusting to listen. I don't care. I know other people feel like, do these things, and I'm not saying that they are disgusting people, but to me, somebody who was born heterosexual, no, I can't. No more than I could put my hand in a fire and hold it there on purpose. Could I go through that? So willingly, no. Dear Bob, how much do you notice your need? How much notice do you need for a special watch party the Sunday before Halloween of the only movie filmed in my hometown? I assume that this was your question, Rock Solid. Arabic Saunders says Qapla Wordle Bray. Qapla Arabic. Deej says he's one of the salt vampires from Star Trek. Resolute is definitely a sign of low salt. Time to up your daily intake. I don't know. Dear Bob, why do people still believe the poop posted by the media that's been proven to be bullshit? A lot of people just don't know it's been proven to be bullshit. They just want to, they trust what they believe, and they are hard pressed to change their beliefs despite what might be in front of them. Dear Bob, why do women always say HMU on their profiles, and when you do, they ignore you? I have no idea what HMU means. I'm sorry, I've never heard of the term HMU. Is that something new? Dear Bob, Wesley here. I feel so bad I've written any Dear Bops lately. I've been so busy, worked a lot of overtime this week. I had some really funny ideas as well. Oh well. Can you share the video I sent you? How I wish I could buy you one of those jetpacks and record your amazing flying skills. Thanks, Bob. Wes, out. So earlier today, Wesley sent me this video of a guy on a jetpack. I saw it on Twitter, and I'll be honest, I don't fully believe it's real. But even if it is real, it unfortunately wouldn't be anything I could ever use, at least not in my current condition, as it clearly requires you to be able to stand, to fly and to land and whatnot. But what I told Wes was that I would probably crash if I ever was to actually fly in it, to which Wes responded, as long as it's on video and you yell son of a bitch as you crash. So thank you, Wes. I do appreciate the thought, but I think it's better for me and my life that I don't get a jetpack. Um, uh, Gorilla says movie one was mine. Oh, well, how much time do I need to, how much notice do you need for a special watch party the Sunday before Halloween? Well, to be honest, Sundays are generally Twilight Zone Sundays, but let's see. The Sunday for Halloween, so October 30th. I mean, a week. I guess a week would be a minimum amount. I'd love to be able to tell people the Sunday before if there was going to be a change in plans. So, but if you've got some idea as to what movie and why, and let me know as soon as you know, so I can. And again, it also is going to depend on the movie. I mean, if it's a movie I don't want to watch, like Chucky or something, Child's Play, the original or something, then it's just not going to happen. So let me know the movie. That's going to be the biggest. And Deej is saying HMU means hit me up. So they put HMU on and then they never write back. Well, honestly, if they see your picture, it's possible they're just not interested in you. It's also possible they got busy. Hell, half of these times I think people's friends make it for them, and they don't really know or they don't really agree with what the people wrote. It's who knows? There could be many reasons. The problem, the thing is, don't worry about it. Just because 1, 5, 10, or 20 people ignore you, just keep going. Eventually, something will give. Dear Bop, sausage. Okay. Have fun at the sausage party. Mike Richards says, Bird Labs is working on hoverboard tech. And Rock Solid says, God damn it, no fucking jetpacks. Now you see how that's a much more serious concern. Yeah, no jetpacks. Son of a Red Shirt says, Bird of Prey, and all the super cool Trekkies here today. Hola, Qapla, and cheers. Bird, happy Talk Like Kirk Day. Hey, thank you. Son of a Red Shirt, if you want to rewind back to closer to the beginning, I did a Captain Kirk captain's log about his encounter in the mirror universe, where everything was like the mirror universe, but opposite. Dan Ben says, I hate it when people block based on profile picture. No, Dan, I love it when people block based on a profile picture. It easily gets rid of the shallow people. You don't have to waste your time on somebody that was never going to work out, no matter what you did. John Street says, Mike, if you're in the bird labs, you need to run before you have some extra working legs. Mike Richards is a hover bed. Mamo Prey is already thinking of the hover bed. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, And where the hell is Kissing Dax? She's hiding out there somewhere. We went through Kissing Dax again earlier in the stream for National Bisexual Awareness Day. Dear Bop, guess the TV show by initial. AD, The Andy Dick Show. VB, The Brady Bunch. TO, no idea. ELR. DIS, Discovery. God damn it. HD. Okay, I don't know. FG, Star Trek, The Big Bang Theory, and TS. I don't know. Now, American Dads, Blue Bloods, The Office, Everyone Loves Raymond, Discovery, Happy Days, Family Guy, Sesame Street, Big Bang Theory, and The Simpsons. There we go. Dear Bop, here's the Star Trek reference in Scooby-Doo Mystery. What? I don't know. What is that? A tricorder? I'm not sure what's going on. Dear Bop, oh no. Oh no. Dear Bop, more spam. Dear Bop, in gaming news, the Wii is now retro. If you say so. No, it wasn't House of the Dragons. Josh Street. Dear Bop, would you at least give a reach around if all your medical issues went away? I don't know, man. You know, I hate to. I honestly don't even know what a reach around really entails, and I'm kind of like afraid to ask at this point. I mean, is it that we just reach around? You know what? I don't want to know. I'm never going to ask for a reach around, and I'm never going to give a reach around. So it's fine. I don't need to know. Moxley fans, it's Bird of Prey, Qapla Bird. Hope you and the family are doing well today. We, the people, hashtag, happy, hashtag Talk Like Captain Kirk Day. Thank you, Moxley. Josh Street says, where is Khan Day? Dan Ben says, mirror universe thing that Spock takes off the guy and puts his face and he feels pain. And also Klingons have them in Day of the Dove. Deej is lolling. Dear Bop, if you use your hands to both play with a woman's genitals and your own, does that technically make your hands bisexual? No, because your own don't count. Your own don't count. Otherwise, everybody who's ever masturbated would be gay, and that's clearly not true. Dear Bop, which should I watch? That guy Bird of Prey 5 is reading, or watch the great movie Red Dawn, 1984. Signed VP. P.S. Can you send me more Karogan orphan minors to help out in my special operation? Is your special operation recreating Red Dawn? I would watch the Red Dawn. Wolverines, 1984 version. Gorilla is just pissed himself laughing. Dan Ben is also lolling. Dan and Ben says, quote Peter Griffin, cowboy gay sex. Deed says, that's not a lol. It's my TIE fighter. Sure it is, Deed. Dan Ben says, the TIE fighter incoming. Dear Bop, farm life video is up. Oops, should have shouted. Maybe I need a hovercraft. Check out the farm life video on Deej's channel. Dear Bop, how many times do you say the excuse me, before we get the F out of the way, before it becomes appropriate? 3 or 4 times. It depends on how loud the background noise is. But, yes, Mama Pray.
I have something to say about
Oh, Mama Pray has a short Mama Pray story.
it. Very short. But I was once with someone. We were leaving a casino, and he was in a scooter, handicap scooter, like a mobile wheelchair, and it wasn't for
That wasn't me.
no. And there were a group of people blocking the sidewalk area, and he kept saying, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me," and I hit him. I said, "They're deaf. They can't hear you. So make sure the person isn't deaf before you start screaming, 'Excuse me,' or push them out of the way," because he was ready to run them over. He lost money. He wasn't happy that day. Anyway, that's my short story.
Thank you, Mama
Yeah.
Pray.
I'm Brett.
Okay. Okay, that was our Dear Bops. So let me come back up onto camera. Am I too close? No, we're good enough. We are good enough. Let's see. Haitian Mills is howdy bird people, Qapla. Josh Street says we want another Mamo Pray story.
Yeah,
That's it for the day, she says.
it's actually trigger things in my mind.
Deej says Kronos missed a Mamo Pray tale. Oh, there was another Dear Bop. It says, Dear Bop, I haven't pooped in 6 days. Think you better start taking some stool softeners. If you haven't, some laxatives. Actually, the best laxative I've ever known are sugar-free gummy bears. Okay? Let me tell you, these things, they're freaking miracles of nature. Yes, I accept. Sugar.
Even say it on the thing they cause.
Sugar-free gummy bears. Let's see. Albanese. Albanese sugar-free gummy bears. Black Forest. No, these aren't sugar-free. Are they? No. My God. My old high school used to have a 3-pound bag of gummy bears in their vending machines. And I'd eat a bag every day. Every day. I'd eat 3 pounds of gummy bears as a snack while at school, not counting lunch. And of course, I'd wash it down with Coca-Cola. sugar-free gummy bears. Let's look at the reviews. At the ratings. Taste is great, but don't plan on leaving the house after eating these before you go to bed. Oh my, and a turd emoji. Bought for the side effects. So a family member has issues with hard stool, so eating the entire pack did the trick. Not as tasty as expected, but still did what it was intended for. Not worth the price. The taste is good. Tastes like regular bears. Oh, I don't have the screen up. This is a spammer. This is a spammer. No, there's no injury help desk. Go F yourself. So sorry. I went to Amazon and I typed in sugar-free gummy bears, and this is one of the many that came up. And then I went to the ratings, and of course, the most helpful. Tastes great, but don't plan on leaving the house. Oh my, and they got the turd emoji. Bought for the side effects, and it says it did what it was intended for. I have to read the description more carefully. I thought it was a much larger bag. Proceed with caution. These candies taste great. However, a severe digestive reaction results from the sugar alcohol maltitol used to flavor them. I'm sure that everyone is different and will react differently. However, be advised. In other words, you're going to have to poop. You're going to have to poop very quickly. I feel kind of bad, but in college, there was this girl, and I was kind of pissed at her, and her boyfriend. I was kind of pissed because she chose her boyfriend instead of me, but I also knew that she would take anything for free, and so I bought these sugar-free gummy bears, and I put them out, and I ate one and only one, and I was like, oh, if anybody wants some gummy bears, and it was only me, her, and her boyfriend, and both of them gobbled up the full fucking bag because they were poor college students, and they would just eat anything. And like 5 minutes after eating, she says, oh, I have to go to the little girl's room. And like another 60 seconds after she left, her boyfriend just ran out of the office to the guy's room, which is on the other side. And I just smiled because I knew that night they were not going to be spending a whole lot of time together. Mission accomplished. And if you ever see this, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's funny as hell. It's the only time I ever possibly could be accused of poisoning anyone. It was, I bought it at CVS, so it wasn't, it was a side effect. It was intentional. It was absolutely intentional. I was so happy that it worked. Anyway, yeah, that's enough confessions for one day. Listen, I you know what they say, revenge is a dish best served cold. So are gummy bears. Might be time for a Warriors drink, says John DeMarco. That's true. A little prune juice. Never hurt. Josh reads a DJ trying to make him poo or go to the ER. Deed says White Castle is also good for a laxative. Surprisingly, not as much as I would have thought. And neither does Taco Bell for me. Cation Mel says diabetes coming in nicely, tubes. Oh, high school, yeah, that was pretty bad. Cinnabon says I tried coffee, lol. Oh, that helps too, I guess. Ms. Lundell says, Deed, they say there's an Ewok character with your name. Cinnabon says it's weird I haven't gained any weight. Maybe a Trill symbiont. Maybe, or maybe you have a tapeworm. Deed says, yes, Miss Lundell, Salty has reminded me over and over and over about it. Cajun Mel says, start business model, sell a food that makes room for even more food. Those are probiotics, not candy. No. Those gummy bears, those are candy. Cajun Mel says it's confession time with Bird. Dan Ben says, I don't really like gummy bears, gummy baby jelly bellies, jelly beans, etc. And Dee says, you ain't sorry. You're right, Dee. I'm not. I'm not sorry. John DeMarcos is in Caroga. Revenge is a dish best served sugar-free. That's wonderful. Wonderful, John. Keisha Mel says, with a side of gummy bears. The most favorite gummy are gummy cherries, because my favorite gummy flavors are the red and the green. I don't even know what the green is, but I know it's good. The red is cherry. And the gummy cherries are red for the cherry and green for the leaf that comes out of the cherry. So gummy cherries are the best gummy bears, as they are. Gummy worms that are red and green are up there. Gorilla says that's a felony nowadays. I don't think so. I mean, these were store-bought gummy bears, and if she wanted to read the label, the label was there. I didn't hide the packaging. I opened it up. I poured the gummy bears out on a paper plate, but the packaging was right there. So if she wanted to read it, she could have. I just knew neither one of them was going to read it. Anyway, it's getting late here. It's coming up on 7 p.m. So I am going to go. Thank you all for hanging out. Sorry, yes, we got an hour late start because I had a doctor's appointment. And of course, she could have come anytime between 1 and 5, and she showed up at 4:30. So I'm thankful that I even set it to go live at 5, because had I set it to go live at 4, I would have been screwed when she got here at 4:30. So next week, hopefully back to 4 p.m. like usual. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be streaming or not. Sunday will be something Twilight Zone related for Sunday at 2:30. Qapla all. Of course, you could come at any time. Well, that's possibly true. You're welcome, Indie Tiger, and Bird out. But wait, there's more. The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdoprey5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Birdo Prey 5 needs. At the main Birdo Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos. YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Wordle Pray 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Wordle Pray 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Kuroga.